So if you just have your arms down at your side, so the normal human body, everybody has this. We have asymmetries that are built into our body. We have 3 lobes of lung on our right chest wall. We only have 2 on our left because of our heart.
Okay.
We have a liver off to the right, no liver off to the left. Our diaphragm muscle, our breathing muscle, is split into 2 leaflets. The right side is bigger than the left. So we have a lot more volume weight on that right side. So what actually happens is it takes our weight and puts more over on our right side. As a result, to keep our eyes level, we have to make a change up above that. Because the goal of the human body is always to keep the eyes level. So even if someone has a scoliosis, you'll always see their eyes will stay level, no matter how bad their curve is in their back. So if our weight is shifted over to the right, our mid-back is going to shift over to the left.
Yeah.
Think of like a block of Jenga blocks, right?
Yeah,
I can't keep pulling them off of one side or it'll tip over, so I've got to even them out to keep it up and down. So as the mid-back shifts over, gravity will push down on your head and want to shove it down to the left, so you'll use your right shoulder to pull your eyes back to level.
Okay.
So because of that, you'll have increased tension on the right side of your neck, which results in an increased bite through your molars on your right. So what the mouthpiece does is it creates that symmetrical bite pattern, moves the jaw slightly down and forward, and it changes all of those asymmetries. Now, it doesn't correct them 100% because we don't want to. The human body is meant to be asymmetrical.
Yeah.
But when we get into weightlifting and bodybuilding, strongman competition, all that stuff, we can exaggerate that pattern. So the asymmetrical weight, actually the asymmetry can become too great. And then we can see a decrease in performance. And there's lots of research on asymmetrical sports. When the asymmetry gets too great, it can lead to injuries. Baseball, golf, tennis. There's about 20 studies talking about that. So what the mouthpiece does is this helps to calm that back down, bring that back down to the acceptable asymmetrical range without that reduction in performance.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. So if your arms are down at your side, what we'll see is we'll see changes in the right shoulder, the left side of your neck, and we can see changes in your left hip as well as your ability to rotate your trunk to the right. Okay? Now we don't have the space to do the trunk rotation one, but I want to take you through a couple of the other ones so you can see and feel what it's like. So we'll start with your neck, we'll go to your shoulder, and then we'll go to your hips. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Have a seat on the table, you can take the mouthpiece off.
That's great.
There you go.
I know.
Yeah, so take the mouthpiece out for me if you would, Sam. So I'll have you guys come over here. So what I'm gonna have you do is you can just relax your arm. I'm gonna just have you look over your left shoulder as far over towards your shoulder as you can, okay? So I'm gonna mark the tip of your nose with a pen. Go ahead and come back to the middle. Put the mouthpiece back in. And look over your shoulder again. Very good. Can you feel the difference? If not, you'll see it in the video in a minute. Come back to the middle. Now, if you take it back out again, we can look at the rotator cuff strength of the right shoulder in comparison to the left.
Okay.
So if we pin your left arm at your side, left arm.
Left.
So just for a comparison, this will be the stronger side based on the asymmetrical pattern. Okay? So push out into my hand. There you go. You'll see you're nice and strong, but don't lift your elbow off the side, okay? Now switch over. No, just switch over. So now we'll just show you on the right. So come out just a little. Don't let me push you in, you're pushing out. So you can see, push out. You can see how I can move you, right? Whereas the other side, I can push as hard as I want, and I can't move you at all.
Yeah, okay.
Now put the mouthpiece in. Put it back at your side, push out into my hand. And now I can't budge you at all.
Okay.
That's the effect that the mouthpiece has, how it changes things in the body. So let's look, you want to look at the hips now next?
Wow,
or let's do one more with the shoulder. Let's have you lay down on your back. You put your head up here. Put your head up here. Legs down straight. And you can take the mouthpiece off if you want to just rest it on your chest. You can. There you go. Good catch. So I'm just going to bring your arm out at an angle here. And nice and gently, I'm just going to bring your wrist down towards the table. So you relax. Let me move you. And you'll see you stop about there before your shoulder has to pop up the cheek. Normal on someone, they can get their wrist all the way down to the table. Okay, so that's just that strong pattern that you've built up because you're so strong. Now if we do the same thing here, everything relaxes, and we can see you can just go to here. Now go ahead and put your mouthpiece in. There it is. Come out, there you go. Now let everything relax again for me. Feel how much further that can go? You're almost to the table now. You're almost normal. All right, now we'll do the same thing here. Okay, and there's the table down there. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's really neat stuff. Now we'll do the final test for your hip. So lay on your right side, face these guys. And you can lay on your arm and just let your head relax on your bicep. No, you lay right on your, there you go. Now, everybody should be able to, when I bring your knee back in line with your hip, the legs should be able to drop down to the table, okay? That's normal on people. So let's see how yours does. Without? Without, please. Bring this one up a little. This one up that way a little bit. There you go. Everything just relaxes. You relax. I got you. So if I bring you back here and try to drop it down, you feel it's like kind of stuck on a shelf, put that mouthpiece back in. Now if I bring you back here, let your leg relax because it's going to go. There you go. Isn't that so cool? Go ahead and sit up. You did awesome.
Wow.
So it has these effects on the patterns because you even out your bite, and now it decreases a lot of this extra tone that your body has to hold your muscles together with. Now it can relieve some of that. That's why you feel so differently when you're deadlifting, right?
It's so crazy because, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I've been, you know, when sometimes you're like, oh, it's like, how can something
it work so good?
Make so good?
Yeah.
But like, I've been chatting with your whole team and stuff, and I'm like, actually, like, I've seen an increase, like, my strength, my endurance, and especially my lung capacity. During my workouts have been like so much better, but it's sometimes really hard to like kind of pinpoint what exactly is making it so much better. Is it my recovery? Is it actually the mouthpiece? Yeah. And then now to actually see it on the table and to feel it, it's cool.
It's really cool, isn't it? Especially when you think, again, where you were talking to me about all your lifts going up.
Yeah.
Think about now all the extra muscular output you're using that's more symmetrical than it was before, right? So when I see some patients in my clinic, they'll bring in their pants and they'll show me how they wore out their front of their left thigh from their deadlifts because they have that rotational pattern that they can't correct.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what happens with a lot of people. That's that rotational pattern magnified, and that's why they wound up seeing me because they were hurt. So now when he puts that in and it decreases that rotational torque, now he can just pull up.
That's so crazy too because, and do you think, so when I deadlift, my left toe comes up. But it
just super common.
It hasn't been really like...
That's a problem, right?
It hasn't been really coming up here this last week. I obviously, like, I've been, like, I always say, like, okay, my toes down, but my deadlift, like, technique has gone so much better.
Yeah, think of what it just did with your hips. I mean, we didn't talk all about it all the way through, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
So you did great.
And also, like, I think, like, to sell it, like, to be a very good sales pitch for strong man is strong women log press, okay? So we have log press, which is a huge 10, 12 inch on your chest. It is massive. And how are we at this when we're getting to 250, 200 pounds supposed to breathe on your chest? And that was one of my biggest concerns. It was that when I started doing log press like a few years ago was that I can't breathe and it was so uncomfortable. And like Max would say, like, well, catch a big breath at the top, but it's like it's crushing me, right? And like ever since, and it's crazy because I've been doing this for a few years. But when I got my first mouthpiece, I went into my log session and I was like, and I was able to like, and I'm like, it's the same weight. I'm actually way stronger now, so it was actually way heavier. But I didn't feel restricted. I could actually catch a full breath, and I mean, it's crazy talk, but we're in 2023. Like things like this don't surprise me anymore because we're getting smarter. We're getting to know our bodies, and for us to be the best, sometimes it could be something like a 1%. Like what can actually make us the best, right? And without restricting our performances, and
science is starting to catch up to sport, right? Before, sport was so far ahead. We're finally starting to catch up and actually see what truly can change things.
Exactly.
So that was awesome. You did great.
Cool.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. Wow.